Okay, so we just got done with week 10, and honestly, it's the same jokes from the same teams again, but we did get some other good games, and kickers really just took over this week. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Oh, Thursday night football. Finally, we've been waiting for this. All it took was for the same two teams that already played the game of the year to rematch, and that ended up getting Al Michaels' pulse trending towards moderately stable levels, I guess, and I mean, Ravens vs. Bengals Part 2 was cinema, but it definitely didn't start out that way at all. The Bengals came out and really were ready to make a statement. If we know one thing about the Bengals, it's that this team is inconsistent as hell, but their offense is among the best in the entire league. And when Ja'Marr Chase had that breakaway 70-yard touchdown, and with the Bengals defense somehow limiting Lamar to just 7 points in the first half, this was supposed to be the game where the Bengals revived their season. But it just hasn't been their year. I don't know what else to say. And they probably do close this game out versus 30 other NFL teams, but Lamar Jackson is the best player in the NFL right now. He just is. I'll still take Mahomes overall, but in the 2024 regular season, Lamar Jackson is the best player in football. And after he remembered that, the cock came out and the entertainment shifted into maximum overdrive. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If Chase Brown doesn't fumble, this is a whole different game. But he did, and from there, it was all Ravens, because fuck you, Bengals fans. Go cry in your corner. You don't get to be good this year, which forced Cincinnati to play from behind, but luckily, Ja'Marr Chase despises the Ravens, and they can't even dream to contain him with another bomb for a touchdown, and this Ravens defense is just constantly throwing games, but you know, it should be fine. As long as the Bengals defense can hold the Ravens to not exactly a touchdown, they should be able to close this one out still.
Jackson running around. Little jump pass, touchdown.
This man, this hunk of a man, Lamar Jackson, is so good at football, dude. I'm at a loss of words. I would gladly take a scythe to my main vein in a split second if that meant I could have Lamar Jackson as my quarterback. He's that special. But so is Joe Burrow, and for the second time in 3 weeks, though, on Thursday, a missed face mask call debatably changed the outcome of the game. However, the Bengals still just couldn't get it done. Burrow tried his best, Ja'Marr tried his best, but they f***ing lost again. This Bengals team is a fascinating case study in pain. Like, over 2 games versus the Ravens this year, Joe Burrow has thrown for 820 yards and 9 touchdowns, while Ja'Marr Chase has 460 yards and 5 touchdowns. And they lost both games. This team, man, look, at least I hope you can see why I picked them to make the Super Bowl and win it. And for Joe Burrow to win the MVP, too. Burrow is playing at an MVP level. He is not even close to the problem. The Bengals are just over-relying on him as their solution, and we're too late in the season at this point. There's no saving this Bengals defense. Your season's over. Run the table from here, or you successfully wasted an all-time season from Joe. Fuck you. But before we go any further, it's time to talk to you about this video sponsor, SeatGeek. And with the NFL playoffs creeping up on us, there is no better time to watch some NFL action than right now, and SeatGeek is here to help with that. And SeatGeek has been a recurring sponsor of this channel, but if you're unaware, SeatGeek is a platform that allows you to buy tickets to any football game out there. And it's also not just football. SeatGeek does so many more live events too, but what also sets them apart is the fact that they rate the tickets that you're looking at purchasing on a scale of 1 to 10. So not only can you see your ticket from your seat before you even buy it, but you're also aware if you're getting a good deal or not. So look for green dots, because green means good, and red, not so much. You might want to find another deal. So if all this sounds good to you, use code Tubfrog10 for 10% off your next order. And even if you've done an order with SeatGeek before, bought a ticket and gone to a game, you can still get 10% off your next order. So once again, that is code Tubfrog10 for 10% off your next order. And thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. And with that, let's get back to the recap. No, I didn't wake up for this game. I don't care, and you don't care either, right? I mean, both of these teams have been eliminated from the playoffs, basically. But I did watch the condensed game, so unfortunately that makes me somewhat qualified to comment on this one. So, all right, fuck it, let's do it. So this is what I picked up from this game, all right? You ready? Daniel Jones is awful. Did anyone know that? I mean, he's kind of bad. 2 picks and no passing touchdowns while barely outpassing Bryce Young of the day. I mean, chef's kiss, Daniel. Good work. Now, The thing with Daniel Jones is that he's got a massive injury clause in his contract, and he's not going to be the Giants' long-term quarterback, so he will get benched at some point this year. It's just a matter of when, because this Giants team has too little talent to be in a dogfight with the f***ing Carolina Panthers. So then, after about 43 straight run plays, I regained consciousness in my bed and got to witness a pretty hilarious ending, honestly, all things considered. It wasn't fun, but it's Giants-Panthers. What do you expect? So Chuba Hubbard, who recently got paid, coughed up the ball, which gave Daniel Jones a perfect opportunity to throw a horrible pick. And then in overtime, the Giants fumbled it right back to Carolina, and the New York Giants easily won the Tank Bowl in Germany by losing the game. And that's really all that matters. Nobody cares. But for anyone that did wake up for this game, one, why? And two, I guess I have respect for you if you really love football that much. But honestly, at this point, I don't even know if I do. This is just... Why did we get this game, man? Whose idea was this?
I have plans that I cannot share with you right now.
Now this is what a good football game looks like. Elite offense versus elite defense. That is what football's all about. And throw in a few more huge men and now you got yourself 3 hours of perfect entertainment. But let me just say this. Why the f*** did the Steelers fake a punt inside their own 30? Like, what are you doing, Pittsburgh? You could have blown out the Commanders, but... Luckily, time and time again, this Steelers defense just keeps bailing them out. And if the offense makes a mistake, boom, the defense is able to just buy them another possession. Because on offense for Pittsburgh, Russell Wilson was... It was okay. Look, I'll say this, Russ wasn't perfect at all, but when the Commanders took a 10-point lead, I'm still not sure Justin Fields could have done as good of a job leading a comeback as Russ did. Because Russ clearly doesn't have the athleticism or arm strength as he did in his prime. Like, at all. He's about 1/4 of the player he used to be, but hey, 1/4 of prime Russell Wilson is still a solid starter, and the chef still has some elite football IQ left in that cabeza, and after some Arthur Smith classic smash mouth football, Russ made the play of the game to wipe Jalen Warren's fumble away with a vintage moonball to Mike Williams, and the Steelers were not going to go out quietly. An incredible comeback, but Jayden Daniels still had a chance to steal the game. He just couldn't get it done, though. He ended up falling inches short of a potential comeback, which sucks, but it's getting harder and harder for me to deny it. I don't know. This Commanders team might not be frauds. Jayden Daniels wasn't amazing, but he is still yet to have a single disaster performance all season as a rookie in a new system. And if it weren't for Lamar doing Lamar things, Jayden Daniels could have a real MVP case, and it's week 10, so I don't know. I am still not sold on the Commanders, but I am sold on the Steelers. This is a very solid playoff team no matter what, so yeah. In Russ we trust.
You hear me? Hit the rollie, start with the rollie on.
Do you like comedy? Do you like seeing grown men suck at their jobs? Then look no further than 49ers Bucks. And this game was set to be a slaughtering, honestly. I thought with the 49ers being this healthy, it was going to end in the first quarter. And to me, the Niners are still the most talented team in the NFL. They're only getting healthier, and the Bucks are delving deeper into the injury well, also losing their best player in Tristan Wirfs in this game. So this game had genocidal potential written all over it. The talent disparity alone was f***ing hilarious. Debo, Kittle, and McCaffrey, or Raheem Jarrett, Rashad White, and Sterling Shepard. Who will win? But this game was actually a nail-biter, and ineptitude was the main reason for the 49ers because... Look, the Bucks are a bad team right now. They play hard, but they don't have any talent. And they played like that in this game. But meanwhile, the Niners were Shanahaning all game long. The special teams was absolutely fucking horrendous. Jake Moody missed 2 field goals. 2 field goals. Can you imagine that? And the 49ers also fumbled the punt to give the Bucks their only red zone chance of the game to that point. God, I love Kyle Williams. And the Bucks finally had life, where eventually they realized, hey, we have no talent. You know, Baker's decided to play like so I guess let's just run it, but that only worked for so long, and the 49ers had a chance to pretty much clinch the game with they missed it. All right, let's all collect ourselves here. No more goofing around. This is a serious discussion we're having here. So after that third missed field goal, Debo got into it defending Jake Moody, I think. I don't know, bro. Not a good look, but the Niners got saved. Despite giving up like 60 yards worth of penalties because the Bucks offense couldn't do anything, they still couldn't score. And now the Niners had to go down the field and get a field goal chance, I guess. But luckily, Todd Bowles decided that playing 15 yards off and giving them free out routes was the move because he's a dip in the final 2 minutes of games. But here came Jake Moody with his confidence submerged 18 feet into sludge. He came out and was ready to miss yet another field I'm tired, man. I'm not gonna lie. I ranted a hell of a lot about the Falcons last year, if any of you remember that, but also with the Raiders season basically ending in week 3, I am paying more attention to the Bears than any other team, and it's infuriating, dude. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, Cole Kmet, and you can't even muster 120 passing yards versus the Patriots. The Patriots. I've never seen a team collapse this hard after one play. All it took was one Hail Mary, one tip for this team's season to end. It is 100% over. No playoffs for you, Chicago. Fuck you. At this point, you might as well keep Matt Eberflus. I don't know, why not? You're not even remotely keeping up with Green Bay, Minnesota, and you're sure as hell not even sniffing Detroit's ass. So, I mean, I'd just mail it in at this point. If I had to guess, I would say that Shane Waldron gets fired any second now, but I am praying they keep him around, as well as Matt Eberflus, because I am still really enjoying watching this team. Yes, it's painful, but I'm not a Bears fan, so who cares? And there's a part of me that just loves to watch teams like the Bears just break a star quarterback. It puts a fucking smile on my face. I love it. So, good work, Patriots. You put an end to the Jets season, and now you've done the same with the Bears. And also, I don't know. I don't understand how Bears players aren't just, squaring up with Matt Eberflus in the locker room. Dude has completely lost the team, and it's still gonna get worse. Like I said, their schedule is so tough. It's over. It's fucking over. Oh, Patricia Mahomes, where do I even start? The way you look at me in those commercials, the way you throw that football, it's entrancing. And Travis Kelce, I wish nothing but eternal love between you and the Queen herself. This is truly the premier model NFL franchise, and I pray that God be with them versus their scary duel with Denver, because Denver was in control. But look, you might not believe me, but I actually thought Denver was going to win this game. 16-13 was the score I had, but Denver's offense really was looking stale and dry outside of a few possessions. But I don't know, it's something about Broncos-Chiefs games. Every year, they're always just weird like this. And also, while watching this game, something just kind of hit me. Patrick Mahomes has been a very boring player for the last 2 years, and whenever he attempts a deep ball, the one deep ball he throws a game, I just go, yeah, forgot about that. Dude used to be super fun, but, whatever. It still gets the job done, I guess. And Sean Payton just decided to pitch a shutout in this game. And the Broncos' front seven, I think, studied the film from that Bucs game intensely on Monday and realized that if you can get Mahomes out of the pocket and not allow him to extend plays like he's used to doing, the Chiefs will not only look mortal, but like the 8th best team in football. And everything was going perfectly according to plan. Sean Payton was sitting there in his swivel chair, petting his cat, knowing it was all about to begin. The defense for Denver was amazing. The offense was good enough, and when Bo Nix found Cortland Sutton, Peyton's pants were flooded. It was about to happen. The Broncos were gonna beat the Chiefs.
What's the kick to win it?
There we go. Let's get back to Falcons football, baby. You love to see it. Now, let me just say this was a embarrassment, but I'm not really worried for Atlanta in the long run. I mean, I am a little bit, but that's for whole different reasons. It's just that this new head coach magic, dude, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's that the clogged the toilet or something and that summons a football god, but every time a QB gets benched or a head coach gets fired, more often than not, shit goes down. And the Saints just came out with a nothing to lose mindset and really shocked the Falcons. But the Saints did leave the door open, don't get me wrong, and the Falcons defense kind of had a solid second half, but the Atlanta offense could not execute at all. Now, yes, Younghoe Koo, fine, I'll call him his real name, missed 3 field goals. Technically, one was blocked, but he did miss 3 field goals. However, I don't care. Come on, it should not come down to a missed field goal versus the Saints. The Saints! It was just unacceptable how much Atlanta struggled in this game on offense, and clearly nobody stops Prime Marquez Valdes-Scantling. So, I mean, I don't know. Yes, this hurts for the Falcons, but I'm not too concerned for their long-term success. They're going to make the playoffs. That's really all that matters. But for the bigger picture thing here, it's just Kirk Cousins is not going to take this team to a Super Bowl. So, I don't know, more and more, I feel like this Michael Penix draft pick is growing on me. I'm excited to see where this Falcons team is going to go in 3 years, but to stay in the moment, tough loss, whatever. Bounce back next week. This game could have gone like 4 different ways, honestly. It could have been a Bills blowout, a close, sluggish game, a shootout, anything. But this? What the hell, Joe? Can you not devolve into Broncos form again? He had garbage time stat padding things that made his stats look a little bit better than they were, but dude came out in this game and was playing stoned early on. Flacco had 2 early picks. The Colts had more turnovers that almost happened. Josh Downs dropped a touchdown, and yeah. Against Buffalo, what do you think's going to happen? Now, Buffalo also literally does the same thing every week, though. And this is why I don't think they're true Super Bowl contenders either. Their defense is a little suspect, but also the offense makes like 5 horrible mistakes every game, no matter who they play. And although there were already a metric ton of turnovers by Buffalo alone in this game, it could have been a meltdown of gigumongous proportions, but the Colts are bad, so cool, take your free win, but you gotta clean this up eventually, Buffalo. You are not beating the 49ers and Chiefs if you play like this. And at this point for the Colts, Anthony Richardson might as well play. Like, what, do you think the Colts are going to the playoffs because of Joe Flacco? I just don't get that, but also, you might as well just embrace the tank with AR and let him develop the hard way, but I don't want this to sound like a Joe Flacco diss, but this team's bad. Next. The Darnold Reddit is not having a good time with this one. The Vikings should have won this game by 37 points, but the Jaguars defense picked a unfortunate time to play the best game they've played all year, because despite picking off the Darnold 3 times in crucial moments, Mac Jones got handed a helmet this week. Macklemore Jones. And he had a cool touchdown drive, you know, kind of nice. And then he reminded us why he's a mid-backup quarterback now. And I don't know, an even scarier thought that I had while watching this game was, how much is Trevor Lawrence carrying this offense? Like, maybe Trevor Lawrence has been playing way better than we thought he was, and he's just being held back by a horrifically inconsistent talent pool around him and atrocious coaching. But maybe I'm just overthinking it, because this Vikings defense has been putting teams through the football equivalent of bamboo torture, and Mac Jones was barely able to breathe on Sunday. So if the Vikings can keep pulling out wins like this, where the Darnold plays that poorly, then hey, that's a great formula to be competitive in literally every game this year. So good job.
Watch your jet, bro. Watch your jet!
Wow, this might be the worst 1 p.m. slate of the entire year. What are we doing here, Roger? Apparently, Jets vs. Cardinals was only boring because the Cardinals are so overwhelmingly better than the Jets that it's not even fair. The Cardinals' offense was in prime Gordon Ramsay mode from the first snap to the last. I feel like the Cardinals constantly just flip a coin, and it's a 50-50 chance if Kyler plays well or not. But on Sunday, they got an elite Kyler game. He was breaking efficiency records left and right, and his numbers could have been even better if the Jets pushed Arizona, but they didn't. So I really think we got to give more credit to Arizona. I'll take the 49ers over them easily, but maybe the Cardinals are Santa Clara's biggest threat in that division. With that being said, so much for running the table. I mean, this Jets defense has been getting scorched for most of the year, and it's been especially bad since Saul has been gone, but this was their second worst loss of the season. Why? Why do the Jets just keep being the Jets? Just win a football game you're expected to win. Stop talking about how good you can be and just go out there and dominate. Like, this looks like a team that doesn't like each other. I wouldn't be shocked if this locker room is completely divided on the inside. Things just don't add up for how much talent they have. And I don't know, man. If I was a Jets fan, I think I'd seriously consider getting a urethral swab over watching an important Jets game. Especially this one. The Jets offense looks dead and uninspired. Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams had 2 receptions at halftime, but this just isn't a player thing alone. This is coaching. Remember, the Jets played on Thursday, so they had so much time to get ready for the Cardinals, and on offense, they played right into Arizona's strengths, and on defense, they looked woefully unprepared for Kyler Murray. So, what else do you want me to say? Your season's over, New York, but you knew that a few weeks ago. And honestly, at this point, I think it'd be funny if Aaron Rodgers just calls it a career after the season and leaves you with desolate pieces and his old friends everywhere. That'd be peak Jets.
Hey, yo, the pizza here.
Did this game even happen? I literally think if these two teams played 100 times, the Chargers would win 99 of those games. The Chargers are literally the Titans, but better in pretty much everything, including quarterback, because Justin Herbert has continued to be one of the most underrated players in football, while Will Levis returned to continue his highlight reel to audition for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The Chargers just picked them apart. This was an utter blowout, and the Chargers continue to basically be like a light version of the Lions in the AFC. They run it hard, they have an elite quarterback, and they play some great defense when needed. So watch out for the Chargers this season. This team is not one that should be taken lightly. Damn, I guess not all backup quarterbacks work out. Cooper Rush had that magical couple games in 2022, I guess, way back in the day, but that was a long time ago. And Cooper Rush is bad at football in 2024. And this game, just like the Jaguars one, really proved that Dak is nowhere near the problem in Dallas. And without him, this is legitimately one of the worst teams in football. And that's even with Micah Parsons and CD playing, because the Eagles didn't even play that well. They kind of just stood there and let the Cowboys use the garrote wire on themselves. And things just got so bad that we saw some Trey Lance action. Trey Lance is in the NFL still. Good for him. And with Dak Prescott out for the year officially now, the Cowboys have also officially been eliminated from the playoffs. Thank God.
I love this team!
No, man. No. The Lions did not win this game. Are you kidding me, Houston? On primetime? In front of the entire world? Now you decide to melt down? That's so rough. This game legitimately couldn't have started out worse for the Lions. And I'm just going to spoil the surprise now, because Wonka Goff over here was busy digging in his own ass and almost f***ed around and broke Ty Detmer's pick record, throwing 5 on the day. And the Texans should have made this a blowout. And, you know, I would bet that with Will Anderson and Nico Collins, it would have been. But the second half was the perfect chance for Houston and CJ Stroud to just ride Joe Mixon to a statement victory versus the best team in football. But no. CJ Stroud just continues to struggle, as he also had some really bad picks too, and eventually, you don't make that many mistakes against a team like the Lions and get away with it, as Detroit got themselves back into the game. And I do agree with Chris Collinsworth though. This was a game the Lions needed to be in. This team hasn't really dealt with all that much adversity, and to be playing from behind was definitely healthy for them. You would just like to see Jared Goff actually respond better, because his MVP case is now all but dead. So with both offenses doing almost nothing for a majority of this game, it came down to the kickers. All week, kickers have been deciding games, and this one was no different. Detroit wasn't even giving Jake Bates easy looks either, but the Brick Bruh was in the zone. 58-yarder, free, easy. Then, Kaimi Fairbairn had a shot to at least send it to overtime, and he absolutely shanked it. It's actually gonna happen. The Lions are gonna f***ing win this game. They went right down the field. Jake Bates got another try, and of course, he made it. The Lions played their worst game of the entire season and beat a contender in the AFC. What a sport this is. Okay, what the hell is primetime football on so far this week? We had a classic game on Thursday, a turnover fest on Sunday night, and another turnover fest on Monday. It was just, this was a high school game for like 3 quarters. Pick, fumble, fumble, pick, fumble. It was all over the place. And honestly, the score makes this game look close. It wasn't. This was a Dolphins demolition. Matthew Stafford was under pressure on damn near every single throw, and the Dolphins offense just basically did enough. Tua was great on third down for the most part, and the Dolphins were just always in control. Tyreek and Waddle have still not even gone remotely ballistic, but you know, they're just the better team. That's kind of what it is. Still, though, the Rams needed to have this game, and for this to come up as a loss this late in the season, especially with the division in the NFC West coming down to the wire probably, this is not a game you can afford to lose, and let alone blow it in the way you did, because the Rams had so many red zone opportunities and couldn't come up with a single touchdown. It's just, it's so unfortunate because this offense still has so much firepower, but sometimes they just can't put it together. And if they can't win games like this, I'm sorry, but they're not going to be a playoff team. But before we go, you know what time it is. It's time for the Tubfrog Discord Awards, where I asked you, the people, what you thought were the best and worst plays from Week 10. And without further ado, let's begin, because I asked what the best play was from Week 10, and like I said last week, Garrett Wilson's catch, or Devonta Smith's catch, would have won this week by a long shot, but instead, we got Baker Mayfield's stiff arm on Nick Bosa for a 4th down conversion, which was great, but, you know, it didn't really end up mattering. And then I asked what the worst play was from Week 10, and a little bit close, but I mean, anything positive with the Chiefs is instantly going to the negatives, because everyone just hates the Chiefs, obviously, and their block for a field goal took this one in pretty solid fashion. And then I asked what the best game was from Week 10, and yeah, this one wasn't really close either. I guess Lions-Texans was a little cool for like a quarter, but Bengals-Ravens was arguably the game of the year. Again, both of those games are top 3 games of the season. And then I asked what the best player performance was from Week 10, and Ja'Marr Chase, I think he might be the first player all year to actually win this poll in a loss. So, you know, that's something. And then I asked what the best team performance was from Week 10, and the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, I don't think the Cardinals have ever won a poll, period. But they ended up going out there and absolutely destroying the Jets, and they're starting to get a little bit more respect. And then I asked what the worst team performance was from Week 10, and yeah, it's the New York Jets. Their season's over. What else do you want me to say? Honestly, I think the Bears should have won this one, but the Jets have so many problems, it's kind of funny. And then I asked what the worst player performance was from Week 10, and Jared Goff, man, was going for Ty Detmer's record. He wanted it, but he came up just a little bit short and ended up making like 3 too many good throws. And then I asked which element you'd want to be a bender of, and you guys ended up choosing water, which, you know, you could make the case. I think fire would be pretty sick, but who knows? Anyways, if you like this video, then subscribe, because I got a lot of videos on the channel just like this one. And if you did like this video, then watch this video I did a few weeks back on Josh McDaniels and his time with the Raiders. It's pretty good, trust me. Thanks to all my Patreons for pledging $1. It truly does mean a lot. But anyways, until next time.